Well, it's time to figure out our new battleground to see if Diva can even be played. It's going to be Cursed Hollow for game number 4. An expert will take the first pick. Tricked Esport will be choosing the battleground, and we'll see if they have any plans in store for their opponents.
Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I want to see what's going to happen here, so I can't wait until we jump into that draft. Cursed is great. The double boss on the map is always awesome. And yeah, I'm liking it. Looks
The
good.
purple.
Yeah.
This is so nice. I kind of like it. Sorry, it's new to us, so we're kind of excited by it. We're like, it's so purple. It's so nice. This is the first time that we've actually seen it on display, and I kind of like it.
It's matching my attire.
Yeah, I'm trying to look like you, Calidor.
Yeah.
The stage is now Calidor-esque. So, going into Cursed Hollow, other things you have to consider. Suddenly, Fawcett becomes a little bit more on the table. So does Abathur. Dehaka in particular looking great. Those globals always strong on those big battlegrounds. It's all about lockdown. Getting your teammates into a spot where you control altars. The Vikings are a possibility. ADRD has dabbled in them a couple of times, but will he pull them out on Cursed? Because it was on Towers of Doom that we saw him.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think that is a Team Liquid special. I would love them, but right now I don't think we're going to get them. But I'm definitely sure that we are going to see probably a ban on Abathur, maybe a pick, but I would assume that Abathur is going to find himself banned out very, very fast in this game.
Well, it's time to find out. Other bans, obviously, still the Anubrak, still the Genji being possible pickoffs as well. With it being a first pick here for Expert, Tricked Esport might hold off for a second and see what they want to go into.
Yeah, Expert actually. I would really expect a ban on Abathur. The question is, does Tricked really play then? Nope, they banned Dehaka out first. Okay.
Well, this puts the ban on Tricked.
Oh yeah, my
Tricked
bad.
okay
Sorry.
with it.
Of course, yeah. First pick, first ban. So yeah,
You.
makes a lot of sense. There's the ban. My bad. Okay, so Abathur, as expected, banned out, and also Dehaka taken out, which means, first of all, that's even better for Abathur since there's a global removed from the game. But also at the same time, the side soak that we've seen from Tricked now several times is not going to be an issue here. So we have seen Tricked already in this series with a Dehaka priority. Now that's taken away from them. But let's find out what Expert is doing as the first pick. Is it going to be Uther again, or are they going to go into something different?
Yeah, it's been a healer or a Nubrak every single time so far for them. So it's going to be the Uther as the pickup, so Tricked Esport can answer back. Do they move into a Nubrak for their first rotation? Because they have yet to have the chance so far in this entire series.
I would like that, yes.
There it is.
And there we have it. Anubarak and Genji. I think Anubarak, taking him here is a must. We have already seen that Expert has a very high priority towards Anubarak, and they play fantastic with him. That Benny has great positioning, good engages with him. And the way that he uses Cocoon to allow his team an entire team fight in a 5 versus 4 setup was great, especially on Tomb. I'm still impressed by the way that he used it, how they isolated targets and drove the team fight away from the Cocoon. It was really well done and won them more than only one battle.
Yeah, it's really interesting how Cocoon is used in a team fight, as you were mentioning, because there's some preset rules. Typically, if it's in a Vala composition, you want to grab the Vala so you can focus down on support. Sometimes if it's only one support with a cleanse, you want to grab the Cocoon and then go in for an engage. But what makes the good players separate from the great players is being in a team fight and realizing where someone's out of position so much that it can force your team to get into a major advantage and force a fight. And we saw that on Tomb of the Spider Queen. Now, with us going into the second and third pickup for Team Expert, it's always curious as to what they're going to be moving into, especially Expert in particular. In the past, we've seen early Medivh pickups, but they haven't had that pressure that we normally see against other teams where it's banned out and such.
Yeah, and the thing is we have now Arthur's taken and also Greymane, so the Divine Shield can already enable Greymane to go deep into the backline. It's not quite what I expected here from the side of Expert, but it's still something that's really, really strong.
Yeah.
Arthur's to take him down is not going to be easy at all, so that's already a big tool here. Medivh even banned, because at this point it seems that Tricked is, first of all, expecting Expert to do something. It's a very similar draft that we see to what happened on Towers. So right now, banning out the Medivh, first of all, makes it easier for you to control vision on the map, and second of all, you don't have to worry about never killing anybody because of Divine Shield, and then of course the Force of Will.
And you don't have to worry about the engage. Cursed Hollow has big areas where you move in for those tributes, and the moment that you move into them, you put yourself in a spot where a portal it can happen, and there is the Diva ban. Expert says, okay, we're done whiffle-offing around that self-destruct here. Let's go ahead and move into it.
I'm a bit sad about this because I think that the hero would have had great value on the map, but I can totally understand why.
And that's why it's banned, the great value, Calidor.
I don't think that you would go for a first ban value here, but going on the second ban and just saying, okay, we don't want to deal with this again, I can totally understand that. So, good choice on the side from Team Expert. But yeah, I'm very curious to see what we're going to have for the double pick. The Gul'dan and the Chen. Nice.
All right, Tricky Sports going all in here. Gul'dan and Chen. It's kind of interesting now that we're at a point where we see Chen and we go, oh, there's Chen. We don't go, oh, it's Chen, and start freaking out anymore. Now he's actually in a meta here where he brings in a lot of power. That Storm Within Fire in particular, great for getting into the middle of a team fight. And if you can get full value out of a health bar, drop Storm Within Fire, typically the Chen team will start to win.
Also, look at the lineup that we have for Expert. There's not really a lot of stuns just yet. So Chen is currently getting a massive amount of value out of all of this, especially since you have several targets that you would like to stun out now. If Chen jumps in together with the with the Genji, then who do you stun? You have Uther there, but how do you deal with this? Now, I like that they are going into an Illidan for the momentum, but I'm really a little bit worried about them having the lockdown potential. We have stuns on the side of Nubarak. We have also the Cocoon. That's really cool for them. But I think if Expert doesn't snowball there early on, they might run into a big problem later on in the game.
I do like the Illidan, though, for the Genji control. Zelia really showed off so much at MSP, how you can force a deflect to happen in the middle of a team fight, and then Illidan comes in, and that Genji, even if he jumps away, he's usually going to be locked down and get blown up. Is there enough blow-up potential here, though, for Team Expert between Arthas and Greymane? I would say, yeah, pretty decent overall. So if they can control Genji, they can be in a good spot. But you're right, that Chen and Genji, that dynamic of who do we actually deal with is going to be a tough question to answer.
Yeah, I really think it comes down to who builds the momentum, because it's very difficult to disengage from an Illidan, but it's also pretty difficult to disengage from a Chen that knows what he's doing. So in this particular setup, I think the first hero that falls, that has to be immediately assigned, okay guys, we need to get out of here, we need to get out of here fast.
Tassadar will be good here for the Force Fall to keep Gul'dan and Oriel away, so maybe that can be a choice here, but you always have that Anubarak that can come in, that nuisance of a character, so it's going to be a fun one here as we get ready for game number 4. Yeah. Tricked Esport pulling out the fun composition on Cursed Hollow. Can Team Expert hold against him? I'm excited to see.
Yeah, me too. I think this is a chance for Trick to actually get back into the series. They already won the first map, but it would be fantastic if they can force the 5th. The one problem that I have, and I have this for months now already, every single time we see Tricked in a situation where they win 2 maps, they finally force the 5th one, they lose on the final map. And they have, I don't think they've ever broken that curse.
Can they close?
Yes.
That's the question. They're good openers sometimes. Let's go ahead and get ready for game number 4. It's going to be Cursed Hollow. We got Chen versus Illidan. It's going to be a fun one between our 2 teams here. Expert in the lead, 2-1.
The game is on, and we are on our 4th map. It is Cursed Hollow, and to the left side we have Knappe on Oriel, Make on Genji, Crosby playing Gul'dan, and we are seeing Nubarak rocked by Remaballer as Alex finds himself on the Panda.
Team Expert on the right, and the red ADRD will start here with the Tassadar. We're going to have Bad Biddy playing Arthas, Thorough on Illidan, Nick will play Greymane, and Curson will be playing Uther.
So this is going to be one of those games where we definitely have to watch out, especially how the Chen lane goes. Already on level 1, going into the elusive Brawler here makes, of course, perfect sense, considering how many auto attacks we have with Greymane, with Arthas, and also with Illidan. Alex already drinking away up down to the bottom. And this should be a lane where he is going to have quite some fun. But then again, we also have the possible rotations here from someone like Illidan who can put the pressure on. Genji also starting up with the ping pong build. I'm hyped for this one. This should be a really, really good one, and also a very important one, of course, for Team Expert, because they could close out the series here.
You can get a sense of how important it is for both of our teams here as they went straight to their lanes here. They were ready to deal with the Gul'dan pressure that could occur, also the Chen that could occur. If you put Chen, Gul'dan, and Ariel in a lane, it's pretty unkillable. However, Tricked Esport will go ahead and spread out a little bit more. Put Chen in that 1v1 scenario with Make on the rotations.
That Benny taking a lot of damage, and when we're talking about Genji, one of the things that he really can bring to the table here is rotate between the lanes and put the pressure on. If you once establish that against your opponent, then you can really start pressuring them hard. But Remaballer had to also tap the fountain in the mid lane already as is, so it's pretty even here still. Crosby at the top lane together with Knappe is just firing away and trying to push the Thero back. Doing a really good job, doing really well on that lane thus far.
Just for a discussion point here, do you think we could see Wandering Keg at level 10 just for control of the bosses, or is it automatically a Storm Within Fire?
I would say it's a Storm, Earth, and Fire. I love Wandering Keck, and I think it's a fantastic talent, but in this case, I'm not certain if you would really get the value out of it. First of all, there's a chance that Cleanse is being picked up.
Yeah.
That's number one. And if that's the case, then you get very little value out of it if your support plays right. Also, even with the Divine Shield, it can be a nuisance. I think the value that you get out of the Storm, Earth, and Fire is just too strong.
Well, should be seeing that for our teams later on. For now, it's that 2-minute mark, so we'll go have Illidan on the bottom right side grabbing the Giants. I do like, by the way, how Make was playing these rotations. First off, he was bouncing between the middle and the bottom lane. They had so much bouncing happening here from Genji that it got to a point where Chen was starting to dominate that bottom lane, which has allowed for him to burn out those tower shots.
I told you earlier what the job of Overwatch hero in Heroes is, right?
To be annoying.
It's exactly what he did.
Well, he did do that. Pretty aggressively here, too. He's actually gotten pressure on ADRD in the middle, not quite getting a kill, but with Bad Benny on the rotation, Make is low on health. Does he have a jump up soon?
Yeah, he should, but that was nearly a kill. Bad Benny once again showcasing how strong he is here. But look at that top lane. This is just so strong. The early game definitely going to trick, at least up to this point. We have now also the Tribute here. Keep in mind, only one of the teams took the Siege Giants. And unfortunately for Expert, the Tribute spawned at the bot lane, so they get no value out of it.
No value, but they did get the Gul'dan value in the top lane when this tower is being burned down. And they leave Gul'dan up there for now to clear out the lane. Thorough's taking pressure, and Alex will alley-oop his way in and get a kill.
Yeah, but the stun was too early. That was a bit of a problem. If they can pressure him first before the stun and then wait until he starts drinking and interrupt it, they might have a chance here. But with the stun already used and it being the only one, there was very little momentum for them. So good kill against Illidan, and Tricked is looking very, very solid in this early game.
They have all 5 down here, too. They're looking to grab this Tribute. Make moves forward. It's going to be Curson on the lockdown. He'll heal himself. Nick working in the harass at the same time, but with no turret ammo here, Curson follows the Tricked Esport with 2 kills to 0, a talent lead, and a Tribute.
Yeah. Uther paying with his life for him trying to interrupt the channel. We have Illidan at the camp, by the way, and Arthas is rotating between lanes to attempt and get a bit of experience back. But Illidan at the hard camp is definitely going to be quite strong there. Bot lane pressure, Genji jumping around, soaking experience. Overall, Trick is just doing a fantastic job at taking down front walls.
They're in control of the map, but you always have to worry about the threat. A split push Illidan that should be occurring around level 10. The hunt always being available, but can they get there without being too far behind? 8-7 for the moment. Second Tribute will be up pretty soon. And once 10 hits, Strict Esport can move in for a boss. They got pretty decent control over bosses as well with that Gul'dan Horrify at 10, Genji on the side. Bad Benny himself even got caught here in the middle with an Impale connecting. Probably might be able to get the kill, and no.
That was impressive from Expert. That Bad Benny survives there, that's quite the feat. Well done. The problem is that Chen at the top lane has a really easy time of pushing this in even harder. He even went for Boulder Flavor on the level 7 talent, so now he gets the Insta Shield. And he is just absolutely wrecking this lane right now. Just moving out to fight for the Tribute. But overall, Tricked is looking so solid here, even without the kill against Arthas.
Where was this Tricked in game 1 and game number 2? Their macros on point, the rotations are doing great.
I mean, to be fair, if they would have won the one fight down at the bot lane on Tomb of the Spider Queen, we would have talked a very, very different game there. So I really like what's happening here right now. Expert is definitely in trouble.
Yes, they are. And we're going to have Bad Benny in trouble. As Prodigy is actually body blocking him for the moment. He'll sneak on by finally, but Rimmer diving in that back line. The healer's trying to keep Bad Benny alive, and they will not be able to do so.
All of this happening under a fort in a tower where there's no minions to soak the shots. Tricked is absolutely on fire right now. These guys are crazy. Aethera at the bot lane gets at least some counter value, and this is one of the problems if you leave Illidan alone on the map. So they are closing in on 10 now as well. But we already have a boss play by Tricked, and they can make that too if they just move with the level 10 down to the bot lane afterwards.
There's a chance here that they get the boss, hit level 10, and also get a Tribute Spark pretty soon here in the top side. That they can get a curse moving forward and everything. Tricked Esports is really in a great spot, and there's a Tribute on the left side here for that curse. Team Expert needs to soak lanes as quickly as possible.
Now they're going to go for the boss at the bot lane, maybe even with this, but already Chen double checking if Expert maybe makes a counterplay. They didn't have vision on the map of the opponent. That's one of the cool things that Expert did. They were hiding in the fog, so there was always the chance that Tricked had to deal with the boss attempt at the bot lane. But this is of course now absolutely ideal. and they are starting to push in with this. I would say without that tribute, they would probably have made a play for the double boss, but right now they have the best chance in the world to already get a keep, and we are only 7 minutes into the game.
Yeah, they're moving in for it. Bottom lane's pushing in, so is the middle here naturally. We're going to have a Thorough just charge forward and jump on that back line. He did pick up the Metamorphosis, by the way, so we don't have the hunt. A stun comes out from the boss, but a Thorough will dodge.
Benny's in the back line, though, with the Arthurs, and that's an issue. So they need to be really careful about this. Egg is already used, and Thero goes in. There's 1 kill, there's 2, and that is an Oriel and Gul'dan falling. Genji as well, making it 3. Can they take the keep? I do not think so. It's going to be close if they all focus here. Maybe.
They're not going to be able to. The shields here, ADRD and crew, they're focusing it down as much as they can, and the boss will be saved. It is low, though.
Benny is such a beast. He is such a monster. He moves in with Arthurs into that backline, and that really allowed them to destroy everything. Chen was diving really, really deep, trying to get some pressure onto Team Expert's backline by himself. But then all of a sudden, Arthur's appearing back there, putting the pressure onto Oriel, on Gul'dan, allowed also Illidan to re-engage and really wreck those two. So that was actually very well done by Expert, and they are all of a sudden taking lead in experience. And the fight is just continuing as the boss down here is being targeted, and Trick Esports has to really rethink their approach. They have to say, okay, do we still continue with this? And they decide against it, let the boss leash, and just set for the night camp instead.
I mean, I have to shout out Curson, too, in that fight. He was there for the support, kept his team back on the live, kept Greymane in particular in great control. As Genji came in, they come in for the kill with the Divine Shield into the stun, was enough to allow Team Expert's back line to survive, to allow Bad Bunny and Illidan to go for Trick Esports. Overall, Team Expert was so well-rounded in that team fight, you have to give them kudos. Now, Bad Bunny's on the bottom left here. He will see multiple members coming in from Tricked Esport and go for the escape, while Team Expert works on Mercenaries in the middle, and they're moving towards 13 quicker than their opponents.
Yeah, they do. So they might have the lead they need in the setup. Night camps for both teams, by the way, so that's also helping them, because if not, that could have been a play for the fort here, and that's of course a lot of experience in the structures. But they're still going in and trying to push through. Look at Bad Bunny, again, with a flank in the backline. They cannot allow Arthurs to get these positions. Once more, he needs to move out there, but already he's forcing them to retreat.
He's on here. He's got Rimmer as well. Cocoon's popped out. Bad Bunny's going to pop his Army of the Dead. Can he live forward here? Curson comes in for the heal. Divine Shield is available. At the same time, Nick is dealing with the Pandas.
They should really disengage here. Cocoon is already used. Alex needs to be careful. Should be able to jump out. Uses one of the army ghouls to get away, at least for now. Divine Shield on Illidan. He's jumping in again, and they are able to retreat at least for now. Howling Blast hits Oriel, but still able to escape behind the gate. And they have their fountain still ready, so that gives them an opportunity to re-engage, but keep the level 13 talent for Expert in mind.
Still an impressive fight between both of our teams there. Chen on the back line, dealt with pretty well there by Nick. We had Bad Bunny get low on health, but saved by Uther. And we had Illidan dive in with the Metamorphosis to get value, but Gul'dan kept showing away from Trick Esports. Both teams keeping all members up. Heroics have been burned, and they're going to dance around. This boss is the only real major thing that can be grabbed for either of our teams.
And cooldowns are, of course, a big thing right now, and we have Cocoon coming back in, so there is a chance that they're going to make that boss play, but they need 13 before that. And they're going to get it easily, thanks to the wave down here to the bottom of the map. So both of our teams are now on even talents, and already position taken around the tribute by Trick Esport. It's the first one for either one of these teams. They're just trying to poke around with, especially, of course, Gul'dan.
Curson getting the delay there. A Thorough will dive forward. Make is about half health. Alex Aproji with the delay here for a Thorough. 20 seconds for Meta to pop up, so he has to play a little bit more passive and stay near his teammates, while Alex Aproji just steps forward and continues to zone out.
Nick is getting so much value with the cocktails here against Genji. Again, he's always hitting them every single time, but Illidan is low, metas in, gets the hit points back. Is he going to be able to escape though? That's the problem. There's still a couple of stuns available as we're seeing them going into the backline, especially Alex trying to get a little bit of triple panda value. Jumps in, but is losing the ult and tries to escape. He has the shields, but Expert is low in HP.
But Thorough is working on the heals here. The CC might be enough. A Thorough dives away for the moment. ADRD shredding out the damage. Finally, Uther will fall, but Uther can heal the team up here as a Thorough is locked.
Illidan down, the rest trying to escape here. Alex immediately being attacked by Greymane. Once again hitting the shield. Bad Benny on the retreat now as well. The stuns against Greymane, and that could be a kill. Alex diving in deep once more, still alive, being healed by Oriel. Bad Benny leaving AD alone, still falling though, and AD himself stunned against the wall with another Detainment Strike is also being dropped. Tricked Esports with a wipe.
Caldor. We might be getting a game number 5 between these two teams here. Tricked Esports is looking unbeatable in these fights. The last 2 fights, they have really held their own against Expert and finally were able to find a situation to move forward. They walk towards the boss. They get the tribute. They defend the Giants on the bottom left as they send Chen on over. Tricked Esports is moving forward but staying even with their opponent's experience.
It was so impressive. And I have to say it again, especially when we saw Nick just poking away with his cocktail over and over again, and he always managed to position himself in a way that he hits Genji with it too. And Genji was so low. Make was in such a difficult position oftentimes when he wanted to engage because he had lost so many hit points that it was really difficult for Trick to pull this off. But the coordination in the fight was impressive. It was really solid there.
That it was. Expert will barely get a boss in the top right while the boss pushes in the bottom for Trick. Remember moves forward, will drop off the Impale, but a Thorough doesn't mind fighting. He turns around. The Horrify is not going to connect, and the Cocoon will be broken.
Aethero, you god! Dodging the Horrify with a Metamorphosis. Brilliant play. They could maybe drop Crosby. Yeah, can they do it? They lose Greymane, they lose Arthurs. Tricked Esports loses Gul'dan, but who cares as we see Uther fall and Illidan alone is not going to cut it here.
I don't know. Make has been shredding here, pinging forward. He's going to be able to start working in, but a Thorough is just staying alive here. The Uther heal's keeping him topped off. Can he get a kill? It's not looking like it as Alex Aproji dives forward, and Tricked Esports will take the team fight.
How sexy was that Horrify dodge? That was insane!
It's pretty up there. Scarlett Johansson level, I would think. Definitely very awesome here as they move in and grab the keep.
That one, first of all, they get the keep. Keep in mind the boss is also still active at the bot lane, and the other one up to the top that we're seeing here right now.
Yeah.
So that was so good. 16 on both sides, but I couldn't believe it. I for sure thought that Illidan was down. They already barreled down on him. Then you just hear as Gul'dan drops his ult, and I'm like, wait, what a second, where's Illidan? And he just metas out of it. It was so good.
But you have to give equal kudos here to Genji. Make there was on that Dragon Blade, shelling all the supports in the back line, destroying where he could there. While Illidan was impressive at first, the team fight was won simply because of that Genji and the team working together, Chen coming in.
You know, when I actually called that Illidan is not going to cut it alone, and then for a second I looked at it and I was like, wait a moment, Uther Ghost is still there and healing his heart out. And I was like, can he do it? It looked for just a few moments as if maybe a kill against Oriel could snowball it again, but it didn't quite happen. This game isn't even over though. We're talking one keep taken down, but the kill count heavily in favor of Trick now.
Kill count heavily in the favor, and the tribute control has been there as well. And if they can get one more tribute, they will get the curse and start pushing in their opponents. Alex Aproji diving forward, using Storm Oath and Fire. He's in the back here while Nick, and on the back left, Illidan dives in and he gets obliterated.
Illidan down, and now once again they're on the run, but you don't run from a Chen, you don't run from the Panda. Curson is low and he is gonna fall. Divine Shield is there. Is Alex yeah, he's definitely not shy.
He was trying to buy time at that point.
Yeah, you just try to go into the different directions, save the rest of your team. But guess what? Even with Archon, that might not be enough. Alex wants to go for the jump, goes for the body block here, and AD is, I think, accepting his fate at this point.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn around for some trades, and Tricked Esports aggressively push forward. With the curse being grabbed by Genji, they are looking for this keep. Rimmer moves in, and with that Epicenter, will be able to get the pop-up on Nick.
Nobody saw that last time. Nobody saw it, Rema. Don't worry about it. We're not going to tell anyone. I promise.
Nappe, though, is taking damage on the right. Thurdo has spawned. Can they defend here? Bad Benny is controlling here in the middle. Is 2v1ing, but Shen is having none of it.
It's just too much. There he is, down 5 versus 3. Tricked Esports going for the core, and Alex on the Panda just drinking away. Illidan is also low. Cocoon comes out. I don't think it matters anymore. There's Siege Giants on the core already as is. They can just right-click it and finish the game. We're having a 2-2 in our hands. This is Tricked Esports forcing game number 5.
They are hanging in here against Team Expert, and you're right, we're going to game number 5. but that's where you have to get a little bit scared if you're a Tricked Esport fan.
We are just minutes away from Tricked Esports losing the 5th game as they usually do after they have a great comeback.
I mean, it's phase 2 though. They have a new roster.
Yes.
It's a different season. Maybe it's time for them to break the curse. I mean, Fnatic broke a curse a couple of days ago, so potentially Tricked Esport could do it as well. But I'm just happy to have a Game 5 between these two teams.
So the joke aside, in case that you are just tuning in or in case that you haven't really watched too much in phase 1, the problem that Tricked always had is they play great, they are behind all of a sudden, and they are saying like, you know, we're not giving up here, we still got this. So they win 2 in a row, find themselves on the 5th map where they can claim victory, and somehow they every single time lose the last one. Now, I'm of course in a very good position because when it comes to motivational speeches, nothing is better than a Care Bear. I have my personal Care Bear here right with me, so a word to Tricked.
You got this. I believe in you. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a couple of seconds. We're going to get ready for game number 5, and we'll be right back to see how this series can conclude.